Hi, I'm Jim Sammons. I want to take you on a little walkthrough on the new Jackson Kayak Kraken, my signature boat. I worked with the design staff, Tony Lee and his crew, and a lot of the pro staff at Jackson Kayak to bring you what I think is really going to be a premier offshore big water paddlers fishing kayak. First off, I think when you look at this boat, what's going to tell you that it's a paddler's boat are the dimensions. You know, it's almost 16 feet long at 15.7 and it's 29.5 wide. So it's long, sleek. This thing glides through the water. If you look at the bow of this boat, you'll notice it's got a very narrow entry point. So it just cuts through the water, but it also has a little bit of bow flare. So it's going to lift over that chop. It's a great boat in the surf and any kind of big water. In the forward hatch, we wanted to keep the lines of the boat. We wanted to keep those really nice water shedding lines that you'll see on the boat. Most hatches you'll see on a kayak are flat, so you end up with kind of a puddling area on the kayak. So what you have on the Kraken is a two-level hatch. You have the outer hatch, the big black one, that is peaked, so you get that water shedding. It also has a couple of ridges on it so you can slide your paddle up underneath the bungee. Underneath that, we have a neoprene gasket. So it's a nice size hatch, you can get a lot of gear in there, but it's nice and watertight. What I actually do is I slide my bilge pump between the outer hatch and the inner hatch. It's a great little extra storage space we put into the boat. As you move back, you can see there's a couple of little pieces of gear track. You know, kayak fishermen, they love to take pictures of themselves. So it's a great place to add that GoPro. I mean, we just loaded this boat with features so you can rig it up the way you want. And that's the key, is to rig the boat the way you want. The next key feature on this boat is the large center console hatch. We changed from the old style hatches on the Cuda that were a double strap and put it as a single hinge. That way, if I need to get into my hatch, I just lean the hatch forward and I can throw my rods in there. So I can get my fish down inside the boat because there's a ton of storage area inside that hatch. So for launching through the surf, rods inside. For the big game fish, down inside the boat. On that hatch, we have a couple of pieces of gear track, which makes for an excellent place for mounting your fish finder, downriggers, again, cameras, whatever you want. So 2 more gear tracks from Yak Attack to help you rig up your boat. Inside that hatch is a large tub that is removable. So you have the choice of using that tub as a place to store some tackle, some gear, or just to yank it out and to have the whole open space. A feature that's kind of hard to see, but is super important for those of us that like to have fish finders on our kayaks, is the large transducer scupper. It was designed for the large transducers like you'll see on the Raymarine Dragonflies. So that transducer will pull up flush to the bottom of the boat. It's not proud, it's not gonna hit anything when you're landing in the sand and the rocks and all that, but you're gonna get the best signal because the transducer's external of the hull of the kayak. Of course, the next step back is Jackson's signature. That's the most comfortable seats on the market. The Kraken comes with the Elite seat, and it was really important to us, again, to keep that really good paddle ability. You can move the seat forward and aft, so you can adjust the trim of the kayak so you're always gonna get the best paddle ability out of the boat. So if I got a bunch of fish up in my game bag up front, I might want to move that seat back. If I've got my bait tank full of water, I might want to move that seat forward. In rougher seas or when I'm launching through the surf, what I'll tend to do is move my seat back. I'm getting a little bit more bow lift that way. And so it's going to handle the surf a little bit better. So the ability to trim your seat forward and back so you get the best paddle ability out of your kayak. And again, that's what makes the Kraken such a great paddling fishing boat. For those long days on the water, comfort is imperative, and the Jackson Kayak seat is so comfortable, and they've gone one step further. They've added the Thermarest lumbar support. It inflates with air so you can get it just where you want it, and it is so comfortable. Directly behind the seat is one of the features that I think is one of the most impressive and one that's not been seen on a fishing kayak before, and that is the bait pump scupper. That's a very large scupper in the boat that allows you just to drop in a bilge pump to use to run the water into your bait tank. No more of the dragging a hose off the side of your boat. No more having to prime a pump. This thing is low enough that you flip the switch and your pump is gonna run. So those of us that love to fish with live bait, this is a huge feature and one that I'm really excited about and works really well. You have 4 rod holders directly behind the seat and 2 post and spline rocket launcher style. Those are adjustable from side to side, up and down, so you can get the rods out at the angle exactly the way you want them. You have 3 more rod holders attached to the Kayak Crate. So again, that's a total of 8 rod holders right off the bat. Who needs more gear storage than that? No fishing boat would be ready to go without tackle storage. So of course, the Kraken comes with it. It comes with a Plano ammo can style tackle box. The cool thing about it though is that it's made so it is really an integral part of the boat. If you were to have that rollover situation, it is secured into the boat. It has a wing on it that locks into a piece of Yak Attack gear track, so it's nice and secure. The boat also comes with the K Crate, which is the Kraken Crate, a change from the J Crate. It's been tweaked a little bit to make it a little bit easier to plumb as a bait tank. It really fits in with this boat really well, makes making a bait tank simple, and that's just so key. Like all of Jackson Kayak's boats, this boat comes rudder ready. So if you're doing a lot of offshore paddling, it's really nice to have that rudder. It's a simple process because it comes already rigged to set up a rudder. It'd probably take you half an hour to rig up a rudder on this boat. So I think if you're looking for a fishing kayak that is just ready to go out the door and that's gonna really bring back the joy of paddling, you need to check out the Jackson Kayak Kraken. I know you won't be disappointed.